you very much. All right, thank you. Well, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here again. Before we get started, I want to introduce my bodyguard. My son, Will, is with us tonight. The girls went to the state fair. My daughter and my wife went up to the state fair to the Justin Bieber concert tonight, so they couldn't be with us. But so Will's been hanging out with us a few times on the campaign trail, and it's fun having him. We try to make him a family event as much as possible, whenever we possibly can, because that's what this is all about. As I told you, boy, is it 5 months ago, 6 months ago we were here last time, whatever it was. We're running because of them. I believe in what we're doing. We're standing up for this nation, and I see so many people joining us in this effort and coming together to get us back to the fundamental roots that made us great. That is a limited government with a focus on getting our finances in order so that our fiscal house is taken care of. Because right now, when you're talking $14 trillion worth of debt, $3.8 trillion of a federal spending budget, that type of spending, that type of debt is not sustainable, and it's going to bankrupt the American way of life. That's not acceptable to me. That is the fundamental issue that has been driving us in this campaign, and it's going to drive us all the way down to Washington, D.C. There's going to be some hard decisions that have to be made, but we're willing to make them. And we're going to deal with people openly and honestly, because when that pain is made, or those cuts are made, that pain is going to be shared equally across the board. So I try to come here open and candidly and just try to have dialogue with people as we go forward. We have 64,000 miles on the car now since we announced our campaign. And I say that because I truly believe that's what we have to do as representatives. I am committed to doing the work. I am committed to showing you that I have the work ethic not only to win this election, but when we get down to Washington, D.C., that commitment is going to continue. We are going to be accessible, we are going to be out and about and having a conversation, because I think that's one of the fundamental things wrong with Washington, D.C. They're just not listening to us anymore. And I'll tell you, the best people to listen to are the people up here. And you're in trouble. But, so you came here tonight probably to get, I want to answer your questions. I could talk to you for an hour, 2 hours on the various issues that we see facing the nation and try to touch everything. But I really want to make myself accessible to you. So I think the best way to do that is with open exchange of question and answers, and nothing is off the table. We do have a friend from our opponent's camp here tonight. This is what you do. This is what happens sometimes when you get into the public arena. We'll have trackers coming around, tracking us everywhere we go, and they tape everything we say, which is fine. It's all part of the process. So we met yesterday.
Yep.
Right? He's a young man going to Finger Lakes Community College, and he's engaged in the process. And we just so nobody gets distracted or so uncomfortable asking a question if there's a camera here.
Well, our format is a little bit different than it was when you were here before. So we would like you to have a chance to say whatever you'd like to say. And we're going to ask Mr. O'Meara to come up and present his thoughts with us. And then I have some prepared questions to ask each of you.
Okay.
And then we'll open it up to
the questions and all one time. Okay. Yeah. Well, I think the best will be the question and answers. But fundamentally, what you're going to find in us is we are a conservative individual. We're running as a conservative Republican, and those aren't just party names. That's what we fundamentally believe in. I'm the youngest of 12 children. I live in the house my grandfather built back in 1922 in Corning, and I'll end my days in the city of Corning. This is home. I grew up in these hills. I fished Catherine Creek all the time. This is what it's all about to me. And all we're trying to do is stand up and deliver that message, because I am sick and tired of politics as usual, and that's what we're going to do. We've joined a group of candidates across the nation. It's called the Freshman 50 Coalition. And one of the principles of that coalition are essentially fiscal conservative principles. That's what we have focused upon. We have taken the social issues off the table, and there's 110 of us joining that coalition as a group of candidates. And the understanding philosophy is we're going to commit ourselves to fiscal conservative principles. And more importantly, when we get to Washington, D.C., hopefully there's 50 of us left standing. And if you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. And I think if we truly do that, we are going to become organized. We are going to become a power that has to be dealt with. We're not going to be individual, because I understand, I'm a very practical person, that if you bring these principles to the table, they're going to mark you, and they're going to try to crush you as an individual. But as a group, I think we can really move the nation in the right direction. And the other thing that I want to say is I appreciate so much the Tea Party movement and the 912 groups. We're meeting with all the groups across the district. The energy that is being brought to the table, that's what we need. We need to continue that energy. We need to keep on coming every day and getting organized and stepping forward. So I just want to thank you for participating in the process by coming out here tonight. So that being said, Tom, I guess you're up.